fourth grade. I hope you have enjoyed working on your weaving. We are going to be finishing that all up this week. I am excited to see what you have when we take it off the board. I know that you are probably anxious about that too. Today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you a couple of steps to finish it all off, to tie it and to pull it off the board, and then if you would like, you can make some handles to go with your pouch as well. I am excited to see your final product. If you have it finished by Thursday for our Zoom, please bring that to share. I would love to have people talk about what you've made, and if you've done some handles, different things that you would like to share about it, I would like to do that on Thursday. I hope you've had fun weaving, and I can't wait to get this finished and see your amazing product that you've made. Let's get started. Fourth grade, let's get started on our last few steps of weaving. Last week, a lot of you either had just a few rows or maybe even some of you had half your board. So go ahead and I want you to weave until you get about 2 inches from the top. I am going to do that as well, and then I will show you what the next step is. Just a reminder of weaving, if you forgot from when you stopped the last time. Remember that we are doing an over-under pattern. So on this side of the board, if you are under, your next row needs to be, I'm waiting for you to say it, hopefully you said, over. We need to start this line over, and then under, and over, and under, and over. And then you flip your board, and you check your starting here. This was under, so I'm going to start this row. Hopefully you said over. And we are going to go across on this side. Another reminder for you is how to tie that knot, of how to add on the next piece, because I'm sure maybe a few of us have forgotten. So before we move on to how to finish, I want to show you that real quick. You take your loop, you lay that on the table, take the loop that you want to add on, and you go through the loop on the bottom, push it through, and then pull up on the other side, and that will knot your loops together. Go ahead and finish your weaving and get up to about, maybe think about those 2 knuckles of your finger away from the top of your board, and then we will be ready for the next step. If you need to pause the video, right now would be a great spot to pause and get your board, start getting to that point of weaving, and we'll be ready for the next step. Okay, so 4th grade, we are at the top of the board, and what you're going to do is leave this piece when you get done at the top, leave it hanging there. We're going to tie it in here in just a moment. The next step you're doing is you're going to cut each of these pieces at the top where you have it in the notch so that it looks like this. So all I did, this was attached at the top. I took my scissors and I cut through. Leave the ones on the back side attached for right now inside that notch, and we'll come to those. The first ones we're going to do is this one side. And the way we're going to tie them is just like tying your shoe. So you're going to take both ends, you're going to start a knot, and then you're going to do it a second time. So instead of doing a bow, you're just doing it twice so that you have a knot that forms. And the why we're doing that is if you don't have a knot that ties these together, everything that you've woven will come off. So we're going to tie these. Again, I'm starting with just like my shoe tying. Do that once and twice. Go to my next set of 2. I'm going to tie just like I'm starting my shoes, and tie. Now, this is the back part of my board. So I had that piece that we had tied together. This can be just tied in with wherever it's next to. And you're going to tie all 3 pieces together instead of just 2. And tie it like you're starting your shoes. Tie it a second time. And don't worry about trimming anything just yet. Now you're going to flip your board over. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to pull the strands out of the notches. And pull them out 2 at a time. And tie them together just like starting your shoe. And do that twice. Pull my next 2 out. Just like tying my shoe. Start that. Do it a second time. Pull out my next 2. And same thing, I'm going to tie it like I start my shoe. And do that a second time, and that makes a knot. Now, we are on the side where I ended. So I have this piece of plastic that's hanging on, that's hanging out from where I was weaving. You're going to tie that in with your notch that's the last one that was left in a notch. And it might be on this side you have 3 pieces to put together as well. So you just have to see how many pieces you have at the top. Now comes the fun part. If you've got some that you feel like this is just too much, trim that down a little bit with your scissors. And then what I need you to do next is we're going to pull it off the board. So this is, you're going to inchworm it down, so a little bit at a time. One side, then the next side. One side, then the next side. One side, then the next side. And pretty soon it's going to pop off. You push down on the bottom so that that's all situated down here. This little piece that we started with, that we notched in the beginning when we started weaving, you can tie that in now. If you want to take it around one of the pieces of plastic and make a knot so that it doesn't come loose. Just a quick little knot there. And now you have your woven pouch. I hope you guys have enjoyed making this. The next step that I'm going to talk to you about is optional. If you would like to make a handle on this, you can. If you would like to trim these down, please help yourself do that. But the next video portion is optional of how to add a handle on if you would like. Otherwise, you are finished with your weaving. Congratulations! And I cannot wait to see these. If you can please post a picture of your finished product, I would appreciate it. And then I would like you to bring them to our Zoom meeting on Thursday to kind of have a gallery showing of our pieces that we've made over the last 2 weeks. I hope you are having a great time with this and finishing it up, and I can't wait to see your amazing weavings.